Hello, good evening. I have chosen my presentation about assessing musical arrangements for the steel band ensemble, and I've decided to return back to the mind map because I found it was very useful and a clear way of deciding your decisions as to how you're gonna teach and certain things like that. Um, I want to start off with the my three concepts that I've chosen. To begin with, I have performance curriculum. Well, the topic is assessing musical arrangements for steel band ensemble, and I have chosen three three main concepts, which are performance curriculum, performance-based standards, and other standards, which consist of improvisation. Now, with my topic, I decided to go along with the steel band movement since now you find that a lot of steel bands are being started, especially down here in Florida. I've been part of it for a while now, and they starting to there's a lot of schools starting to implement the steel band within the curriculum. And in other states, you find some steel pans are taking place of the horn instruments or brass instruments. So it's a big phenomenon. It's growing, it's expanding everywhere. So I've decided that I wanted to actually develop something because it's the only instrument that developed in the 21st century, made in the 21st century. So based on that, I my my first point, which you see here in the mind map here, from the performance curriculum, uh, it says that music reading literacy, rhythmic literacy, dynamics, expression, style, balance, and characteristic tone. Okay, with music literacy, we're gonna assume that the kids already know how to read music. Um, just taking the music classes in general, they know how to read music. They are rhythmically literate. They understand dynamics, expression, style, balance, and characteristic tone, which on they understand the definition of characteristic tone, which is having a good tone on your instrument, whether it be like a trumpet or whatever. But with the steel pan, developing a good tone means actually hitting the note where it's straight in the middle. So if you hit the note like towards the side, it won't produce the full sound. Okay. So based on the performance curriculum here, um, we're gonna go um, with uh, with the actual performance based related to arranging. Okay, and the student first of all will know will have the basics of arranging, which would be how to gather up a melody. They will come up with their own melody or original melody, or they will choose a song related to like different styles of different genres or styles of music. So I've chosen calypso, jazz, and classical music, which are calypso is originally the genre that started with steel band, and jazz and classical music is you rarely hear being played on steel pan. So I've chosen these to just to have to get the listener to get a different ambiance of how the steel pan sounds. Okay, so within the first hour of the workshop, the focus will be performance-based curriculum. In the second, as you see here in the second box from performance curriculum. It says repetition and contrast of of various parts of the arrangement. So what that basically means is repeating certain sections of, like, say, okay, you'll have a form which is based on ABA format. So A would be the verse, B would be the chorus. Okay, back to A. A would be, sorry, the chorus. B would be the verse, and A again back to the verse. All right. Yes. So with repetition and contrast, it means they're gonna repeat a certain section. The section would be the first uh, variation of the arrangement, which will be also taught to the student. Will be learn what a variation is, or what the actual meaning of arranging or manipulating the melody to make an arrangement. Okay, it has to be contrasting, as in, different measures of how you're going to arrange the piece. Okay, within the C section, you might have, like, the first section would be, um, I guess you repeat the melody, but then you might apply arpeggios to manipulate that, in a sense, to create contrast, and or maybe certain, you might, it might probably change the rhythm of playing the actual melody of the song. So that would be another way to contrast. Um, and yeah, so that would that's it did. I haven't given my students. My students don't have a specific allocated time frame for the arrangement. It could be as long as they want, but the key thing is just having them understand. Okay, how do I manipulate the melody? Um, and not specifically going to change the baseline of chords. The baseline chords could stay the same. I just want to focus mainly on the melody of the piece at first. Okay, and so within that, then we could focus on other rhythmic ways to change up maybe the background, which would be the basses and the chords, or the rhythm section. The next part consists of performance-based standards, and that is, let me make sure okay, that is performing chamber ensemble arrangement. So we're dealing with a chamber ensemble, um, and it's a small group, maybe just of like about 10 students maximum, and the class is actually, forgot to mention, the class is 7th grade students, and the form, like I just mentioned, we're going to use a certain form, ABA format, chorus, verse, back to chorus, which is A again, C arrangement, and then repeat the ABA section. Okay, and that will go back to the beginning. Other standards in the other slide, in the green section. Other standards: manipulating the melody of a song, like I mentioned before. That would be like taking a song like London Bridge is Falling Down and reconstructing it, giving it, I guess, play parts that are repeated. Um, like, for example, you play like it will be consistent of building blocks. So some measures may be used more than once, repetition. Um, and once you know the correct location of each building block, you can copy and paste it into the correct measure. So they would be writing that out um, using Finale, a program. They could either use Finale, or they could write it out by hand. And from there, they could print the music, or write the correct answers by hand. Okay, so they'll be given a melody, and it will be 4 boxes of quarter notes and half notes. So they would just have to place it in the correct measures. Um, okay, and they would hear the song first. They would hear the song, and the bridge is falling down, and so on. And then they would have to, based on the melody that's written, they would have to apply it to the different measures in 4/4 time. Okay. Another way of improvisation and learning to build arranging skills, I will have the students improvise using scale warm-ups. So we're gonna use the C scale, for example, which the song is in C. So they will actually play the scale up and down, and then they will use the notes that's part of the song only for the scale. Okay, and for the scale's sake. So they would take the C scale, they practice it as usual. Okay, that would be within the third hour. So the second hour, I kind of skipped ahead and said I forgot to say that the second hour would be the performance based standards, and third hour would be other standards of improvisation, and each concept is 1 hour. It's gonna be 1 hour long. So that's basically how I put it together. Thank you.